Good morning, Dr. Hickey, Mr. Gallagher, Mr. Patterson, faculty, and fellow students. Experiencing culture through traveling has truly changed my perspective on the world. Traveling is more than just visiting new places. It's about experiencing different cultures and immersing yourself in their arts, their customs, and their traditions. When you travel, you don't just see new things, you live them. I've been across the country and to Mexico, but recently I've been to two places that stood out to me because of how far away they were and the differences in their cultures compared to the United States. Them being Finland and Japan, in which I was able to have an amazing and memorable experience, trying a variety of unique foods and experiencing their diverse cultures. Last year, over spring break, I had the opportunity to visit Finland on a field trip. And it was a chance to see cities that were very different from any I had seen before. I was able to spend time in Turku, Rovaniemi, and the capital of Finland, Helsinki, during this trip. And being in these cities was surprising. One of the first things I noticed was how quiet and calm the cities were, even in the busy areas. The people didn't seem like they were in a rush, and everything felt very peaceful. I remember in Helsinki, I was expecting it to be a bustling city, but in reality, it was calm and with nobody honking because there wasn't much traffic or even cars on the road. Most people took public transportation, walked, or rode bikes, making the whole city feel quiet and relaxed. In addition to the sense of peace was the appreciation of personal space. It seemed like people respected one another. Unlike in some other countries, people wouldn't stand too close in lines or crowd around you in public spaces. Even when walking around the city, it felt like everyone was respectful. Another part of Finnish culture that I was able to experience was trying a traditional Finnish sauna. While we have saunas in America, they aren't quite as nice as those in Finland. A sauna is a steamy room where you pour hot water onto hot stones, creating steam. And in Finland, there are over 3 million saunas. Saunas are a large part of Finnish culture, and for many people, they're a good way to relax. The saunas in Helsinki were really hot, and there were cold pools with water from the river next to us to swim in after. The cold water after sitting in a hot sauna was a very enjoyable experience that I never had before. I now understand the importance and value of saunas to the people of Finland. Another highlight of my trip was getting to try new foods. The Finnish food I ate was different from what I was used to, but delicious. One of my favorite things that I ate in Finland was korvapuusti from a small market in Turku. Korvapuusti are the Finnish version of cinnamon rolls. They're not quite like the cinnamon rolls in America because of the different spices in them and the different shape, but they're similar. I would definitely recommend you try them if you get the chance. Well, Finland was a great trip because of all the new foods I got to try, the cultures that I experienced firsthand, and getting to do things that I wouldn't be able to do anywhere else. My experience in Japan was even more meaningful. I'm 25% Japanese, but for most of my life, I didn't know much about Japan and had no idea I even had family there. A few years ago, I learned that I have relatives in Japan, and meeting them last summer was an experience I will never forget. Even though they had never seen us before, they welcomed us with open arms. It was great to feel that strong of a connection to people I had just met and to experience Japanese culture firsthand. Visiting Japan was amazing, and it left an impression on me in many ways. One of the first things I noticed was how clean and organized everything was. Unlike in the US, where trash cans are everywhere, Japan doesn't have many public trash cans, but somehow there's no litter anywhere. People take responsibility for their trash and carry it with them until they find a place to get rid of it. It made me look at cleanliness and organization in a whole new way. The order in Japan goes beyond cleanliness, though. In public spaces, people naturally follow unwritten rules like walking on specific sides of the sidewalk, keeping quiet on the subway, and showing consideration for every space. Everything felt intentional and respectful. One of the most unique experiences I had in Japan was watching sumo wrestling. It was not like any sport I'd ever watched before. If anyone doesn't know what sumo is, it's sort of like wrestling, but you have to push your opponent outside of the circle. Sumo wrestling has been going on for thousands of years. It was fun to watch because the audience understood the traditions and the respect within the sport, and that made it exciting. Japan was such a great trip, and I deeply appreciated all of the experiences I had. It was very different from Finland, not only because it was on the other side of the world, but also because of its culture and traditions. Neither of them were quite like America, which was to be expected. In the end, though, both places were great to travel to, and I hope you have the opportunity to visit them as well. Traveling has given me the opportunity to not only see different cultures, but to truly experience them. Whether it was learning about Finland's culture or experiencing the cleanliness and organization of Japan, these trips have changed my view on the world because I have gained a new appreciation for the customs and traditions of other countries, even if they aren't similar to the ones I see in my everyday life. Most importantly, they've shown me the value of embracing new experiences and trying new things. It is really important to do this even if you aren't leaving the country because it will widen your perspective, create new memories, and help you to understand others. I've already been to many places, but there are more places that I still want to travel to, like Italy, because that is where some of my family currently lives, and around the United States to new cities I haven't seen before. The world is full of lots of cultures, but so is our country. Even if it isn't traveling out of the US, just traveling out of the state could be a good experience. I know how great experiencing culture through travel is, and so I encourage all of you to do it if you get the opportunity. Go see new places, try new foods, meet new people, and immerse yourself in another way of life. Thank you.